This is a time lapse of an ink drawing that I painted up in Procreate, which was a little bit new to me and I kind of had to get the hang of it, but here is the approach that I used. I will usually start in the background, throwing a little color on there kind of gets the brain working and different ideas come to me. So instead of just sitting there looking at a white canvas, looking at a color or looking at gray, jump starts the process and kind of gets the butterflies out of your stomach when you're starting to paint something. Since I didn't start off with a color sketch or any real idea of what I was going to do, I'm trying out various ideas, various colors, and seeing which one I like best. Once I kind of get the background to where I want it to be, I'll start trying out colors on whatever foreground elements I have, in this case the figure. So I'll usually apply flat colors first to see what I like, and not get very complicated at this point. I am just picking colors and values. I know there's a lot of techniques for painting in Procreate that people use, but I know a few of them, but I hardly know any of them, and I just tend to try to create form starting off with flat color and then coming in a little bit right after that and creating form. Really, I learned at first to paint analog before any painting and coloring programs go on. So, any advice that I give is just sort of the way I do things, and it may not be the approaches and techniques and solutions that you have or that you learn from school, but at the end of the day, it's what results you end up with. So at this point, after applying my flat color, I'm trying to create form by applying a darker color, more or less a shadow, and using that to make the shapes appear rounded and three-dimensional. So it's during this stage I start thinking about the different materials that things are made of. Her spacesuit is kind of like a spandexy, stretchy thing, and her gun has kind of a metallic texture, and her hair has like yet another texture, trying to define hair with that. Only in my very last stages do I start putting on highlights, and if something is a shiny texture, I'll start using the highlight areas to make it look shiny. If it's a flat texture or a rough texture, then I'll use the highlight areas to try to make that happen in the painting. But that's like the very last thing that I do. I always think it's important to get your tonal relationships and your light and shadow set up first before you start doing your highlights, because it's so easy to overdo that.